He conquered the known world before the age of 30. A military genius, a philosopher king, and a man who inspired empires to rise and fall in his name. But beyond the battlefield, there was a man who burned with love for glory, for friendship, and for the few who touched his heart. This is the story of Alexander the Great, not just the conqueror, but the lover, the visionary, and the mortal who dared to challenge the gods. Born in 356 BCE in Pella, the ancient capital of Macedonia, Alexander was destined for greatness. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant military leader, but it was his mother, Olympia Passionate, proud and deeply spiritual, who told him, "You are not like other men. You are the son of Zeus." From a young age, Alexander was taught by none other than Aristotle. Philosophy, science, medicine, and logic were tools of war and wisdom to him. But Alexander was more than just a student. At 12, he tamed the untamable horse Bucephalus, a beast feared by all. His father declared, "My son, seek a kingdom worthy of you. Macedonia is too small." At just 20 years old, Alexander became king. Within 2 years, he would set out to do what no man had done before: conquer the Persian Empire, the greatest power on earth. Alexander's military mind was unmatched. At the Battle of Granicus, his first major conflict against Persia, he led his troops from the front fearless, relentless. His strategy, precision, speed, and shock. He struck like lightning and left empires in ashes. At the Siege of Tyre, he built a causeway over the sea to reach a fortified island, something thought impossible. At Issus, outnumbered and surrounded, he defeated King Darius III, the ruler of Persia himself. When Darius fled, he left behind something unexpected: his mother, his wife, and his daughters. Instead of harming them, Alexander treated them with respect and royal dignity. Even his enemies called him noble. His campaigns stretched from Egypt to India, over 22,000 miles, a path soaked in sweat, blood, and glory. He never lost a battle, not once. But Alexander's story isn't just about war. Behind the armor was a man who loved deeply, though not always traditionally. His closest companion, Hephaestion, was more than a general. Many believe they were lovers, soulmates bonded by war and heart. When Hephaestion died, Alexander wept like a child and declared him a god. He fasted for days. Some say his heart never healed. In 327 BCE, in the mountains of Bactria, Alexander met Roxana, a princess and the daughter of a local noble. Her beauty was said to be legendary. Alexander fell instantly in love. Their wedding was not just a political alliance. It was a passionate, impulsive marriage. She was the only woman he ever married. When they danced at their wedding, it said Alexander watched her not as a king, but as a man completely in love. He may have had many lovers, male and female, but only a few touched his heart. Love, for Alexander, was not bound by gender or politics. It was about connection, loyalty, and passion. By 323 BCE, Alexander had conquered most of the known world. But the man who could not be defeated in battle met his end in a palace, not a war. He fell mysteriously ill in Babylon. Fever, weakness, and whispers of poison. No one knows for sure. But on his deathbed, when asked who should inherit his empire, he replied, "To the strongest." With no clear heir, his empire fractured. His wife Roxana gave birth to his son after his death. But both she and the child would be murdered in the political chaos that followed. His love, his empire, his legacy all torn apart, yet his name lived on. Alexander wasn't just a warrior. He was a dreamer who wanted to unite East and West, who spoke many languages, embraced many cultures, and loved beyond borders. He died at just 32, but in that short time, he reshaped the world forever. Over 70 cities bear his name. His tactics are still taught in military academies. His story, written in stone and whispered in legend, reminds us of something timeless, that to live greatly is not just to conquer lands, but to conquer the hearts your own and others. If you were inspired by Alexander's incredible story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What do you think? Was he a hero, a tyrant, or something else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, keep seeking,